Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Mad Capper, and this is another video on Raid, Shadow Legends, and another in our series of I Built Them So You Don't Have To. Today we are going to talk about a champion that originally was brought up during my Twitch stream that infamously, I would say maybe trolled, maybe self-trolled me into building Malbranche on my last video. This time it is Hexia. And I pulled her from a sacred shard that I said, whatever champion I get, it's the one I'm going to build. As a thank you for the stream, being so generous and donating and gifting subs and just having a great time. It was a great Friday night. Anyway, long story short, this is the champion that I pulled from the sacred shard. This is the champion we're going to build. So without further ado, let's talk Hexia. Hexia is a Force Affinity Epic attack-based champion from Undone Horde. So let's go over her total stats and then we'll talk about her kit. First off, her total stats: HP 14, 205, attack 1564, defense 793, speed at 97, 15% crit rate, 60% crit damage, and the obligatory 30% resist. Her attack stands out, however, we never know without multipliers, and I never look at the multipliers before making a video, so I can have a little fun as well. It's always fun to find and discover champions as opposed to read about champions on a spreadsheet, so let's have a little fun with that. As for her kit, we've got an ally attack in faction crisp by 27%. Her A3 attacks one enemy, heals this champion by 15% of the damage inflicted. The heal increases by 10% for each debuff on this champion. Places a 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. And that's bookable to a 3-turn cooldown. Her A2 is a 3-turn cooldown, attacks one enemy, grants an extra turn, and places a 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. If this attack kills an enemy, damage increases by 7.5% for each debuff on this champion, stacks to 30%. Keep that in mind. We're going to have a little fun with that today. And then her A1 attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing a 60% decrease defense debuff for 2 turns. This chance increases by 20% for each debuff placed on this champion. Next up, her build, as you can see, or if you remember from the last video, we are just taking Malbranche's great new set that we found and discovered on our account, and we're going to use that for her today. So her total stats are going to look like as such: 29,906 HP, attack at 4869, 1447 defense, speed at 203, 239 crit damage, and we do have a little bit of accuracy. I hummed and hawed about whether or not just to put her in an attack banner, but we decided to go with debuff accuracy. Just that A1 could come useful if you're not bringing in a defense down, or if you're in an arena and it's helpful. Just giving that opportunity for that debuff is always a good thing, especially on an A1. So those are her total stats. As far as her masteries go, we went with Helm Smasher, the big one here. I always like getting this here, Ruthless Ambush, and we went down the right side as I do with most of my champions to Retribution. And yeah, so Helm Smasher, if you're not getting the crit damage you want, Flawless Execution is always a good, especially she's a single target attack champion, so you could argue Flawless Execution is the better choice, but we just want to see the most damage on her, so we're going to go with Helm Smasher. And we've, of course, have her fully booked, so let's take her into the Dragon Dungeon next, see what kind of damage it can do, and then we're going to have a little fun and do a little test on exactly, well, how much damage she can do. Alright, so we normally bring Rotos in, but I thought, you know what? I got Mountain King kind of decked out. He can hit really hard. Let's just do a comparison, see what Mountain King can do in this world. He is a Force Affinity champion. We are bringing Knight Erranton. I understand he's weak affinity, but when he doesn't weak hit, he can hit really hard, so it's a good comparison. And of course, Durang's always a kind of a regular on this series for damage comparison. To give you an idea, now this is really doesn't tell you anything because he does most of his damage off of his HP, but here's our Mountain King build right now. 222 crit damage with the 125 HP, and then to boot, just for added shits and giggles, he's got an attack of 2268. Of course, Durang, we're sitting at 4400 attack, 224 crit damage. He also has 306 accuracy. Knight Errant is 4000 attack, 241 crit damage. Keep in mind that 70% increase on that A3, so it's more important that he has full health. And of course, as a refresher, Hexia here has got the 4869 with 239. So let's take a look and bring him in here. All right, debuffs, boom, A3, 25k-ish to hit. And then we go to Hexia's and 90,000. Boom, 97,000. So pretty comparable. And an A3 here. 147. So Mountain King, you win this round. So let's back out and then we'll do their A2s. We get to see the damage here. 29, 40k because he was already dead, but you already saw the damage here. The numbers are here. So she's actually hitting pretty comparable to Knight Errant. I've seen her hit more. I've seen her hit in the 100, so I think that was probably a Helm Smasher that didn't proc, because that seems like a pretty wild array. She was well over 100,000. But either way, pretty comparable, pretty good A3. Obviously Drang hitting 3 random people, but only doing 61 total. Let's check out A2s. Again, debuff. All right, so his has got one enemy 2 times, so this would be a good one. Boom, boom, 35, 70,000. We'll take her A2 next, and 107,000 plus the extra turn. So we'll just we'll take her A3 up against Tay Tay. 138,000 against Tayrell. What the F? Hopefully he doesn't. Hey, he didn't get the 757. And then Mountain King here with his A2. Oh yeah, just 155. Just 155,000. It's nothing much. It's really a flesh wound at this point. I think Meta can handle that. I think a Meta can take care of him. I'm fairly confident in our healthcare system. I mean, I'm in Canada. It's free. He's good. He's fine. Might be a couple hour wait, but he's fine. He's good. All right, A1, Durang, boom, 38,000, hits like a girl. But the girl hits harder, so he doesn't hit like a girl. He hits like a Durang. 67, that's a really good, actually that's a really good hit. I'm really impressed with that. And 49, so she's hitting really well. And let's see, Mountain King for comparison, 87. So, you know what, honestly, pretty good hits. However, not really showing off her kit, and the reason why is she has qualifiers on her kit. Like, look at her, only Mountain King hit harder. She's hitting really hard. She's smacking numbers that the other guys can't compete. But let's have a little fun this time. Let's take out some of these whatevers, right? Let's do this. We're gonna do a run, but we're also gonna build out success here, as I like to call it. You want to give your champions the best chance of success, and what I think is, with this champion and poisons up, we can do an extra damage, right? So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you get 20% more damage against targets under poison debuffs, but that's not enough. See, she's got the ability to add extra damage when she got poisons on herself, right? 10% heal for each debuff on this champion. You get the 7.5% damage for each debuff on this champion, and you've got extra 20% for each debuff on this champion. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using Gerptuck to put those poisons on. So she's going to get a 3%. So it's not a full. It's not going to hit the full one. Unfortunately, I don't have dupe Gerptucks. But this is going to give her at least that 21.5%. I don't know, quick math, probably wrong. 22.5% extra damage on her A2, which I really want to see on this ability. And then we'll just let it go and we'll do a full run. So let's start this up and let's see how this goes. I'm actually quite interested to see how this goes here. We'll keep it at one time. And let's put those poisons up. Let's just give her everything she needs. And we're gonna hit this bay right here. Good. Everything so far, so good. Oh yeah, I guess it technically puts the boom. Now she got 3 poisons on herself. And I don't know, we'll hit over here. Okay. Oh god. Relentless gear. Oh, come on, leave him alone. Okay, so here we go. So this is the A2. This has got the big hit. So she's got the extra damage plus the extra poison damage. See what damage she can do. Yeah, 171. Yeah, no big deal. Just 100. Remember, Mountain King hit for 150. Pretty impressive. She just hit for 171. And she gets an extra turn. Her A3, if she's damaged, 168. And by the way, she's healing herself. Yeah, that's pretty fun. So let's I'll tell you what, just a second. We'll do this, but we'll actually back out and we'll do a full run and see what she can help with this team. A neat team to have. See if she does anything with the team. Man, that just hit so hard. It's hit so hard. 230. She just hit someone for 230,000. 131. Whoever coined the phrase "hits like a girl" clearly has never been hit by this girl. She knocked him the F out. She ain't kidding around. She's not playing. This isn't joke time. Boom. 168k. Draco's hitting for 48. Perspective there. Oh, look at that. Boom. 102 on her A1. It just, when you put yourself in the right team on this champion, she hits next level. Now, I knew she was a hard hitter. I'd already seen it in the past, but it's always fun to watch. You never quite grasp how much she can hit until you see her hit. It is fun. It is deadly, and I like it. I like her. I mean, she's a single target champ, so got to keep that in mind. But she's hitting for 240 on a boss, right? Like, the perspective there, of course, the cleanse, but still, a minute 22, and we had 2 debuffers / 1 single target. We had 2 support and Bad L. So really, we only had 2 damage dealers in Draco and Hexia, plus the poisons. And minute 22 with that team, I would say that's ooh, nah. I'll put that on the side of impressive. So now let's take her to the arena and see if we can replicate some of this top tier damage and have some fun in the arena. So we're gonna try to give her every chance at success here. We're gonna start out with this team. We've got a double revive. We've brought in Lydia to kind of prevent that. We've got a good speed lead with Tuck to put up those debuffs so that she can hit and probably get a double whammy here. Of course, Rotos being a bit of an issue, but I think our best bet is probably ignore him off the start, take care of him last. And we'll just take care of one of the revivers, and then the other one will invariably fail, which is always good. And with that, and then we do the A2, and we'll take, we always know 166,000. And then, hey, on top of it, let's see what you can do against, oh yeah, just 190, no big deal. No big deal. Look at you trying to revive someone. This isn't Bush League. Let's take care of him. Didn't even get a chance. And then I love that. Now she's put the poisons on her. And the coup de grace, 94,000. It's a bit obscene. It's fun. Okay, so this time we've got a little bit tougher team. You see a really good team tower, so there's some good resist there. You've got 2 nukers and you've got 2 revivers. And so I'm still fairly confident I'm faster, but we're going to bring in a double single target of our own. At this point, I'd probably just bring Ethos, but just for the video, we'll see what we can do here. That Mountain King scares the living shit out of me, so we're going to have to deal with him. And so I think I'm going to hope and pray, and we're going to start here. And then we're going to move to Mountain King and see if we can kill him first shot. Which we can. That's beautiful. And then we can take out Trunda. And then finish off, hopefully, with Molly. She, of course, we didn't get the defense down on her. Because she's only 650 accuracy. She's a very low accuracy, Madame Sarah. So, of course, there we go. Pretty easy win. Again, this is a good team. Now, I like having that Tuck, but Tuck is really meant in this sort of scenario to fight buffs. So, it's a good strip and block if you're up against Valkyries, that sort of thing. As 1MS clearly showed me with one of my test defenses, I asked him to attack it, and he giggled and finished it off in in mere seconds. But I think that there's definitely... I like the option here. If you had a Krutraxa, I think that would be fun as well. You got double hit. So essentially, you've got all the hits you need, so long as you can one-shot everyone. I don't, of course, have a Krutraxa, so we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Again, boom, still hitting for 89, even though she doesn't have any debuffs on her. We'll do this one next. Boom, 148, and then it's your turn. And finally, let's... Oh, weak hit. Oh, no! Of course there's going to be a weak hit. The number of weak hit versus normal hit, I swear, in this game, it's suspect. On first hits, I'd like to see the statistics. I don't believe that they're the whatever 35% chance it is or what have you. Anyway, again, you know, back-to-back with some tougher teams. I think this refresh has some strong teams here. A lot with the new one. He actually looks really cool. I bought him, but I didn't switch over for the bronze award. I think that's a really cool looking avatar. All right, one more, shall we? Yeah, let's do this right here. It doesn't look as tough as the other ones, but you know, player power isn't always a strong indicator of a TA. Okay, yep, no, we're good. Nonetheless, let's go through this debuff, and then we're going to who's the biggest problem of them all? We're gonna get rid of her because of her stupid ability. And we'll get rid of you. Boom. See, I don't have them resistance tuned. We'll take care of you, and then we'll weak hit you. Called it. I'm telling you, that weak hit is a thing on the first hit. Look, she first hit my Rotos, and he's still alive. Boom. We're gonna do one last one, and just so we are fully aware of the order of what happens on auto, because I think that's an important thing to note is what she's gonna do. And you're gonna find she's gonna use her A2. She used it in. She used her A2 in PvE. There it is, yeah, A2 first. So she's got the right idea. She's using her A2 first, then going to her A3. So that's a good piece. That means she's gonna get that extra turn if she kills someone. So yeah, if you have a really good pair of nukers like this, Double Rotos is a very fun and very usable setup in Arena. Maybe this is the new meta. Maybe I should retire my ethos. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, so let's take it to final thoughts. My final thoughts on Hexia. She's a really great champion. She looks kind of funky. She hits like her damage is ridiculous, and that scaling damage with the defense with the self debuffs is ridiculous. I mean, I don't think I've ever showcased single target nukers in the dragon like that and still had to run as quickly as I have. She hits hard and she doesn't stop hitting hard. And with Gerptuck on her team, it's a great pairing. But I do caution you in the arena, depending on where you are, it can run you into troubles. So just keep that in mind. She pairs really well with a Rotos because then you've got two different affinities. They can pick their targets properly. And essentially, you got 4 champions to kill. So if you don't have an Ethos, you don't have a Trunda, you don't have a Foley, etc., etc., but you pulled, or you pulled a fused Rotos, and you have Hexia. Well, I think you're okay. I think you could probably do it through most stages of Gold 4 because she's going to take 2 hits. He's probably going to take 2 hits with a good debuffer. You've essentially got the AoE you need. So it's a really good pairing. I really like her kit. If I had to improve anything, and I'm being greedy, I get you. I know you're going to call me out on this. I pre-called me out on this. But there is a section where I talk about how I would improve Hexia, and the only thing I talk about would be her A1. And the thing is, if you're building her earlier on and you're trying to progress with her a bit, this needs to be better. And right now, 40% is a pretty weak chance. What I would like to see, and again, being greedy, 70% chance increases by 10% for each debuff placed on this champion. And again, nitpicking. But if I had to ask for one thing, it'd be that. Everything else, she's a good champion. She's well worth the build. Do not sleep on her. I think we already knew she was good, but it's always fun to get and see it once again, because when you get a champion that hits this hard, you kind of get giddy inside. You kind of get, it's like getting taking candy from a baby. I've never taken candy from a baby, so I don't know if this is like that. It's like doing things for the first time. I don't even know what else to tell you. It's really fun. She's really fun. Build her out. All right, that's all I got for you today. I thank you for joining me in the video. I hope that this was fun for you too. And the innuendos in my head are just going worse. Okay, thank you. Please be kind. Please be safe. And we'll see you in the next video.